what is environmental pollution in simple way means any undesirable change. We are using the word undesirable change with reference to the composition of the environment in very simple fashion. So here when we talk from the perspective of change, so you might have heard that change is the only constant thing in the universe or world. Have you heard that? So change is the only constant thing. So change can be of two types. So desirable change would be there, undesirable change would be there. Here when we talk from environmental pollution, any undesirable change that we are talking, any undesirable change. Okay, so in the composition of environment, so that is basically environmental pollution. So it leads to degradation or deterioration of the quality of the components, deterioration of the quality. So it can be physical, it can be chemical, or it can be biological properties. Okay, so physical properties of the water, chemical properties of the water, biological properties of the water, so they may change. So this leads to deterioration of the quality of that particular component. So such a thing is known as environmental pollution. Okay, so when we talk from the perspective of types of environmental pollution based on the component that is being involved, so if it is air as the component involved, so then it is known as air pollution. That means any undesirable change with reference to physical, chemical, biological properties of air. That means composition of the air. So air has specific composition. So if there is any change in that, then that is nothing but air pollution. In the similar fashion, same is for water, noise, or soil, everything. So types of pollution, when we say, it is nothing but, can you say air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution. So likewise we can have various types of pollution. So we will have like a marine pollution, electronic, solid waste, or all those types of plastic pollution. So there are different types of pollutions. What are the various types of pollutants? Yes. Okay, it's not a type, it is one pollutant. Yes. Types of pollutants. I am talking about types. I'm not asking about examples for pollutants. Okay. Okay, good. One type is, we can say, based on the nature of the pollutant, we can say that one type is nothing but, it is like natural pollutants and anthropogenic pollutants. That means released due to activities of man. So natural pollutants, let's say for example, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, it's in one way carbon dioxide, it is present, and during, let's say, natural pollutants means there are some natural processes like volcanic eruptions or forest fires or some such kind of activities may happen. So during that process, some pollutants may be released into the environment. So such kind of pollutants are nothing but the natural pollutants. And then anthropogenic pollutants means those pollutants which are released into environment by man's activity of the man. So let's say for example carbon monoxide or sulfur dioxide or nitrogen oxide. So all of them, these are released due to environment due to activities of man. So that is anthropogenic. Okay, and then when we look from the perspective of the other types, like let's say on the basis of the existence in the nature, based on the existence of the nature, they can be again of two types. So one would be quantitative as well as qualitative. Quantitative pollutants as well as qualitative pollutants. So what are quantitative pollutants means? So usually these are nothing but they'll be present in the environment usually. Let's say for example carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a normal component of the environment. So when its composition reaches beyond certain level, then we will call it as a pollutant. So such kind of pollutants are known as quantitative pollutants. Okay, usually they'll be present in the environment, but when their levels reaches beyond certain range, then we will call them as pollutants. So that is nothing but quantitative pollutants. Okay. Then yes, some of the greenhouse gases. Some of the greenhouse gases are also pollutants, like let's say, yes. So some of the greenhouse gases are also like they are pollutants. So then, what are qualitative means? Qualitative pollutants will not exist naturally in the environment, but they would be added to the environment by man's activities, and thus they will try to change the quality of the various components of the environment. Like for example, if you say about anything like, let's say, any pesticides, insecticides, DDT, or any chemicals. So usually these things are not naturally present. Insecticides, are they present? Pesticides, are they present? DDT or such kind of chemicals, are they present naturally in the environment? No. But what we will do, we will add to the environment. We will add to the soil, or we will add to various things. Or for DDT, we will add to water for purification purpose. Or pesticides, insecticides, we will add to the soil to improve or to just get rid of the issues from insects or pests likewise. So these kind of chemicals will deteriorate the quality of the soil. So we are talking from the perspective of quality of the composition. So qualitative pollutants. Can you able to understand? So that is one type. And then if we talk from the perspective of, on the basis of their persistence in the nature, based on their persistence, we can have two types of pollutants. So one type is nothing but primary pollutants, and other is nothing but secondary pollutants. Primary as well as secondary pollutants. Okay, what are primary pollutants? Primary pollutants, the name itself, it is talking with respect to primary. That means these pollutants will exist in the similar form as they have been added to the environment. Okay, let's say for example, anything plastic would be produced and plastic would be added to the environment, and in the similar form it becomes a pollutant. Are you getting that? Or like, let's say, some of the chemicals like DDT, they have been added to the environment and they are pollutants in the same form that they have been used likewise. Okay, likewise these are nothing but some of the common things. Or we can also say some other things like common things. Let's say carbon monoxide. This is a pollutant. Like we can have such kind of things. Or hydrocarbons. Let's say hydrocarbons. Volatile hydrocarbons, we will say. Volatile hydrocarbons means when we cook in the homes, oils, all those things would be there. We'll be heating them. So they are nothing but volatile organic compounds. Example for volatile organic compounds. So they will also sometimes become pollutants. So they are all nothing but primary pollutants because they are added to the form in which they are existing, and thus they will become pollutants. Whereas secondary pollutants means what? Secondary pollutants are those pollutants which have been modified due to reactions in between primary pollutants. They does not exist in the nature naturally. In the sense, their form would be altered. Let's say for example, examples for secondary pollutants, if you say, we have peroxyacetyl nitrate. So this is one thing. So when we say that when nitrogen dioxide reacts with volatile organic compounds in the presence of sunlight, then it releases the peroxyacetyl nitrate plus ozone. Okay, so usually when we talk from the perspective of ozone, is ozone present in the troposphere? Is it present in the troposphere? No, naturally it is not present. Ozone, ground level ozone is not present. That means in troposphere it is not present. So where is ozone present? Where is the natural position or the habitat for ozone? Yes, stratosphere. Whenever ozone is present at the ground level, so then it is known as pollutant. It is harmful. So now you see, when nitrogen oxides on the earth, when they react with the volatile organic compounds in the presence of sunlight, they will release some components like peroxyacetyl nitrate and ozone. Now, these are naturally not present. These are produced due to reaction between primary pollutants. So nitrogen dioxide is a primary pollutant and volatile organic compound is a primary pollutant. With their reaction, they have been produced. So these are nothing but secondary pollutions, secondary pollutants like this. So we will have different types of pollutants. Okay, so that is basically types of pollutants. Now here you try to say
short-lived and long-lived, short-lived pollutants and long-lived pollutants.
yes, we will have short-lived pollutants as well as long-lived pollutants based upon their longevity. Based on their longevity, when you say, for example, plastic takes very long time for degradation, so they are nothing but long-lived pollutants. Short-lived pollutants means, let's say, for example, carbon dioxide or like the other pollutants which we are saying, they will last usually for some number of days likewise. So it may range from number of days to number of years. So based on their presence, existence in the nature, we can also classify short-lived as well as long-lived pollutants. That is one thing. And based on the ability of degradation, based on the ability of decomposition, there can be degradable and non-degradable components, biodegradable as well as non-biodegradable pollutants. Likewise, we will have different types of pollutants. Okay, so try to remember that. So if we talk from air pollution point of view, can you say some of the air pollutants? Examples for air pollutants? Any examples quickly? Yes, carbon dioxide, methane, yes, then carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, good, then below that, sulfur dioxide, good, then can you name any indoor air pollutant? Indoor air pollutant, indoor means inside, yes, CFC, okay, we can expect CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons that are released from the refrigerators or like tube lights or such kind of things. So it can also be considered as indoor pollutant. Then any common indoor pollutants? Huh? No, water vapor is not a pollutant, it's a greenhouse gas. Think about volatile organic compounds. We have seen now. So cooking oil. So cooking oil, when it is heated, it is volatile in nature. It would be released into air. So and if you are from rural background, or like even you can just remember simply like when we cook, usually cooking, while also cooking with fire, like firewood or cow dung will release some smoke likewise. So domestic cooking smoke is also one kind of pollutant likewise. So volatile organic compounds, smoke that is being released, or like let's say like some of the biological pollutants, like all the things that after cooking, all those things we will dump. So from that some pollutants would be released, some gases would be released. So all of them are nothing but some of the indoor pollutants. So now if you can see here, so they're all, whatever the things that you have said are nothing but the pollutants. So carbon monoxide is one thing, carbon dioxide is one thing. So here you remember, these are, let's say carbon dioxide is a natural component, but when its quantity reaches beyond that, then it becomes pollutant. So you have to remember that. So then nitrogen oxides, nitrogen dioxide, nitrous oxides, likewise, then sulfur dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons. So then suspended particulate matter 1, particulate matter 2.5, particulate matter 10. So all those things, so they are also one thing. And then ozone, ground level ozone, it's a pollutant. Like let's say other chemicals like lead, or we have various silica, all those things would be the examples for pollutants. Okay, so then indoor pollutants, whatever the things which we have saw, volatile organic compounds, smoke that is being released due to the cooking, or biological pollutants that are released due to our activities, and then radon. Radon is one very important pollutant. Usually radon is a gas that is being released from the soil. Okay, so that is being released from the soil, that is being emitted from the soil. And usually what will happen, if it is outside the nature, then it will mix up in the air and it doesn't make any issue. But in indoor, that means if in a closed room, radon would be released and it would be accumulated here itself. So thus radon will become a pollutant. Okay, so you remember where you can get confused means with reference to radon. Radon is an example for indoor pollutant. Likewise, you can remember that is one thing. So these are some of the important pollutant, air pollutants. Okay. Methane. Methane is mostly, we can say, it is more or less like a greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas, and anyhow, it is also added to the environment which is not existing. So we can also consider it as a pollutant. Like this. Okay. So we have saw what are primary pollutants, what are secondary pollutants. So that is one. And then what are the causes? Causes means how these pollutants would be released. So that is nothing but causes for air pollution. So there can be natural causes, there can be biological, there can be anthropogenic causes. So all the causes can be summarized like this. So think about burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels means, can you name any fossil fuels? Good. Petrol, yes. Coal, good. Yes. Diesel. So all the petroleum products or coal or all such things are nothing but fossil fuels. So when we burn the fossil fuels, yes.
The natural gas.
Yes.
The natural gas.
Okay, natural gas, right. So fossil fuels. So all of them are nothing but fossil fuels. So from fossil fuels, like we can expect like some of the pollutants like nitrogen dioxide, some of the pollutants like, let's say, carbon monoxide. So all of them would be released due to burning of the fossil fuels, petrol. So when we see vehicular exhaust, so that releases so many gases or pollutants. So that is one thing. And then automobile exhaust. So same thing, automobile exhaust. And then agricultural activities, they will also release various gases. Okay. So like, let's say, for example, from the rice field, we can expect release of methane and release of nitrous oxides. So from these things, we can expect such kind of release of such pollutants. So agricultural activities also will become one of the pollutant. And then factories and industries. Is this normal? Factories and industries and mining activities. Okay, it is a cause. And then domestic sources like cooking, all those things using fuel wood or firewood, fire dung or cow dung, and waste deposition. So from waste deposition also there would be a lot of gases that would be released. Okay, so these are nothing but some of the important causes. Okay, and what are the important consequences or impacts? What does it lead? Consequences. What is the consequence? Means air pollution may lead to some of the important consequences like, let's say, it may cause various diseases. What kind of diseases? There can be a lot of respiratory disorders that may come due to inhalation of such kind of poisonous gases, or due to inhalation of them we may expect some sort of neurodegenerative issues. So that is also possibility, that is also possible. So apart from that, these gases also sometimes may cause things like greenhouse effect, global warming, or acid rain, and they may also lead to formation of smog, and they may also lead to ozone layer depletion, or there are so many effects with respect to animals, plants, all those things.